everyone, I'm Leslie, and I'm traveling the world looking for everything unique, extraordinary, and the more off the beaten path, the better. So we're in kind of a unique situation right now because we left Amman, Jordan to fly to Italy. This is the first of several stops in Italy, starting in Rome. And our flight from Amman, Jordan to Rome was very unique for two very different reasons. So let's just jump right in and I'll tell you all about it. As I said, we left Amman, Jordan, and if you haven't watched my video on Amman and Jordan and our visit to the Dead Sea, to Jerash, and to Petra, it is a must watch. Jordan is an incredible country, so I will tag the Jordan video here. Just go back and watch it as soon as this Rome one is over. But anyway, we fly from Amman, Jordan to Rome. Now, our tour guide that coordinated our trip to both Egypt and Jordan was very adamant about our flight from Amman and how we did it to Rome. And they highly recommended we not take Wizz Air. You heard that correctly. Wizz, W-I-Z-Z. I would be interested to know if anyone has heard of Wizz Air, because to be honest, we never had. And in my humble opinion, they should consider renaming it, as it just sounds like not good. But although we so appreciated the recommendation from the travel agency, we are very cognizant of getting direct flights no matter where we travel in the world. And the only direct flight from Amman to Rome was Wizz Air. So against their recommendation, and the only reason why they didn't recommend them is because their schedules can tend to change. The flights are not always on time, some get canceled, and so valuable information, but again, we wanted it to be a direct flight, so we flew Wizz Air, and turned out to be an extraordinary flight. Everything was fine. I actually had the front row seat, the number one row, so my leg room was I should have given it up for somebody that had super long legs, because I probably had a good, I don't know, probably 30 inches of leg room. It was totally fine. Our flight was great. But when we left Amman, the other crazy thing about our flight is that typically you would go from Amman across Israel to get to Rome. But of course, with all that's going on in Israel, our flight had to do a detour, which totally makes sense, but it's just crazy to think that you can't even fly in certain areas of the world. So yeah, I just think that's crazy. So we had to do about a 45-minute detour to get around and then fly to Rome. But we land in Rome. We're super excited to start our tour of Italy. Benvenuto Romo.
Romo, Tony Romo? Tony Romo, quarterback from...
Benvenuto Italiano. That's welcome to Italy.
Oh, okay, welcome to Italy.
24 days that we're going to start in Rome, and we're going to work our way all the way up to the very top because we have Bruce Springsteen tickets in Milan. We're both super excited to get to Italy. This is Roy's first time, so it's always fun to travel with someone that hasn't been what you've seen, to just experience it through their eyes. Obviously, the Colosseum's there. That's one of our 7 wonders that we were going to see through the Ultimate World Cruise, and so we're actually getting a sneak peek of it in advance. And we did a lot of research, obviously, on a lot of ports that we took through the Ultimate World Cruise. We watched Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn, and we wanted to kind of go through Rome and see all those stops that they made there. So it was just an exciting place for us to start our Italy adventure. So we take the train from the airport to get into central Rome to get to our hotel. We roll up to our Best Western in literally the center of Rome. And this place was one of the best hotels I've stayed in the world. It was such a surprise.
What? No. Our hotel room has its own terrace? Our Rome hotel has its own terrace. What? Look at this. Well, hello, Rome. Thank you.
Spectacular, huh?
Well, okay.
I kind of remembered booking it with a terrace, but when you see terrace, you know, that can be all over the board when you're booking hotels. This place was so great. Our room was great. It's in a great location. Come to find out, when we walked out later, we literally walked down maybe 2 blocks and the street had a straight shot, beautiful view of the Colosseum, like a 10-minute walk. Just if you're in Rome, this is the place to stay. Get the terrace room. It was so great. Our bed was great. The shower was great. The hotel was great. Breakfast was great, included in our room rate. Just great. Thank you, Hotel Raffaello. Loved our hotel. We also arrived within days of Mother's Day, so I got a sweet message. One thing about traveling and extended travel is you obviously just miss being home and being with your family. So this was such a great message to receive on Mother's Day. So happy happy Mother's Day to everyone out there that is. I mentioned being on the Ultimate World Cruise, and just to recap, we actually are on the World Cruise now. It left December 10th from Miami. It's circumnavigating the globe. We get back to Miami in September, but we actually left the cruise ship for about 43 days while the cruise went around Africa, since we weren't able to navigate through the Suez Canal with all the unrest there. So we got off in Dubai, we went to Egypt, we went to Jordan, and now we're in Rome. So when we talk about the Ultimate World Cruise, one of the things included in our cruise was the 7 wonders of the world, one of which is the Colosseum. We decided to go ahead and see it while we were here, just in case there was any issue while we were on board. We didn't miss it twice. If you haven't been to Rome or seen the Roman Colosseum, it is a must-see. Part of the concern with the Roman Colosseum and the elite excursion through the cruise ship was they give you a caution that you may not get in because there's just massive amounts of crowds. We've seen crowds in a lot of places we've stopped in, but Rome, of course, there's just a lot of tourists. And so what we did is we booked our Colosseum tour for the last tour at 5:30. And when you get your Colosseum tickets, you also can get the double ticket, which is the Colosseum entrance and the Roman Forum entrance. And although you have a timed entrance for the Colosseum, you can do the Roman Forum anytime the same day. So of course ours is at 5:30, so we went to the Roman Forum first. Let me tell you a little bit about the Roman Forum. There are several important ancient government buildings at the center of the city of Rome. The Temple of Saturn, a revered ancient structure in the Roman Forum, dates back to 497 BC, making it one of the oldest temples in Rome. The Temple of Caesar, also known as Caesar's Grave, was built after his assassination in 44 BC. Caesar's public cremation was quite grand, attracting a large crowd who tossed valuable possessions into the fire, nearly causing a blaze. While the site where he was cremated is now in ruins, you can still leave flowers as a tribute. The arch is a striking monument in the Roman Forum and was built in 203 AD to commemorate the victories of the emperor and his sons. This triumphal arch stands as a testament to the might of the Roman Empire, adorned with intricate reliefs depicting military campaigns. The Forum is super easy to just navigate on your own through. We went probably about an hour and a half before our Colosseum tickets, but you can just wander all through. It is crazy to think you are in the center of the city and there are Roman ruins. Another reason to watch the Jordan video, because Jerash has a remarkable Roman ruin area that is another just spectacular site. These Roman ruins, I will never not stop at them, and they cease to amaze me. The Romans, as we've seen traveling the world, are everywhere in everything, and just what they accomplished is just mind-boggling. The Colosseum marks the fourth wonder of the world that we've seen.
Our last world wonder. We are here, the last one on this trip, I think.
And we are...
I think. We are at the Roman Colosseum. What is that face? Do that face again.
Okay.
Do that face again.
Let's go check it out. So of course you can't go to Rome without going to the Trevi Fountain. But again, there's just so many people. I have a couple tips on the Trevi Fountain, but you know, the number one tip is just go prepared. You're just going to have a lot of people. You'll see online a lot of people recommend going at, 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. And even then, it's just now everybody's going then. And so just go prepared that you're going to see a lot of people. We went at 10:30 and, that's not early and it's not in the middle of the day, but there was, you can see from my pictures, I have several of them, that there's nobody in my pictures. There were people there, but we were able to get pictures and get them without people. When you're facing the Trevi Fountain, off to your right, you'll see if you walk down kind of to the side of the fountain, there is a water fountain, like for people to drink from, and it's kind of in a little cove. So that is a tip. If you go down in there, a lot of people don't even realize it's in there. You can see the fountain from there and get some great pictures from there. The other thing is there's quite a few cafes that are behind the Trevi, and up there's balconies and restaurants behind it, behind you when you're standing looking at it. And so that can be a beautiful view too, and you can see down and you're not there in the droves of people. But it's beautiful and you have to see it, and just go several times if you have to. It's worth it, and you can, wiggle your way in. For the most part, people just want to get a picture. They'll get out and then you can move your way in. Speaking of the Trevi Fountain, if it's a complete mess of people, one alternative or one addition is to go to the Piazza Nuova. It has its own beautiful fountain, the Neptune Fountain.
Now you know that it has two origins, exactly. So you didn't know it back then, and that it says that.
And the piazza is beautiful. It's lined with shops and restaurants. It's a huge open area. The fountain is gorgeous. You can get views all the way around. It could be a good consolation or addition if there's issues at the Trevi. So this 17th century Baroque church faces onto the Piazza Navona, one of the main urban spaces in the historic city center, and the site where the early Christian Saint Agnes was martyred in the ancient stadium of Domitia. So I missed the Vatican City when I was here the first time. And so when I was here, it was Sunday, and I just, well, you know, when you're on vacation and you have no idea what day of the week it is, I had no idea it was Sunday. And of course, the Vatican is closed on Sunday, so I missed it. But I was not going to miss it this time. And when you go into the Vatican, I took a couple pictures, but the Sistine Chapel, it's obviously restricted from photography, and it's so much to take in that I really wanted to just absorb it. But I wanted to give you a tip that you need to pay for a guided tour. Not because you need the guided tour, although our guide was incredible, and they probably all are. But the guided tour gets you into the guided tour line. And when I tell you the guided tour line, first of all, there was no line. We walked right in, got our earpiece for the tour, and we were off on our way. The line for tickets without the guided tour was out the door, down the street, and around the corner. Like literally, there had to have been hundreds of people in line. The line for no tickets, I think the day we were there, it was probably not even open, because there's just there's a lot of tourists in Rome. And just as a side note, there are a lot of tourists in general traveling now, which is a beautiful thing. But if you have plans to go anywhere, pre-book the things that you want to see, get tickets for them months before you leave. Most stuff sells out, and you just don't know when you're going to be back. So just get the tickets, and in this case, get the guided tour, because we sailed right in, and I felt really bad like walking past all these people. So get your ticket in advance and get a guided tour.
Panini bread's there. Please have it.
So he could deliver things, produce a lot, because he's in the
Esta instantánea de cada lápida forma estruendo y vemos a Jesús volver del mundo de los muertos ante el estupor.
it again.
The Pantheon is the former Roman temple and since 609 AD, a Catholic church in Rome. It was built on the site of an earlier temple during the reign of Augustus, which was about 27 BC through 14 AD. Then, after the original burnt down, the present building was ordered by the Emperor Hadrian and probably dedicated in about 126 AD. Its date of construction is uncertain because Hadrian chose not to inscribe the new temple, but rather to retain the inscription of the older temple.
Questo fa lo spirito. È consolatore perché ripristina la comunicazione, in primo luogo la comunicazione con noi stessi.
We're gonna miss you, beautiful church bells. Oh, goodbye, Rome. Thank you for a beautiful stay in your beautiful city with your beautiful church bells. The cobblestone streets, the fountains, the history, the ruins, the restaurants, the food, the gelato, the pizza, the pasta, the wine. I think you could go to Rome 150 bazillion times and never see the same things, never experience it the same way. It's so special, so unique, so Italian, so Roman, so awesome. If you've been to Rome, I would love to hear your comments. It's been a little all over the board with how people feel about Rome and Italy, but we absolutely loved it. Next up, we take the train to Florence.
È assegnato è a regolare il volume dei vostri dispositivi elettronici nel rispetto degli altri viaggiatori.
Florence is the home of Michelangelo's David. So we are super excited to go to Florence, and Rome and Florence were the only two things we booked. We decided we were going to start in Rome, go to Florence, and then we were just going to figure the rest out. And so I'm super excited to share Florence with you. Another just beautiful city, completely different than Rome. So be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you're notified of when I post the Florence video. If you liked the Rome video today, I would love a thumbs up. Be sure to put your comments below. Have you been to Rome? What'd you think of Rome? Would you go back? Just your comments on the video in general. Thank you as always for being part of my journey. I just love sharing the experience with you, and going back through my notes and pictures allows me to relive it all. So I'm just super grateful. And as always, thank you and bye for now.